Hi, this is Heather Fiore, and this is Module 5, Understanding My Community, Vineland High School. So customs and traditions, we have many. One of our longest running traditions is our bonfire before Thanksgiving rivalry football game against Millville, which is a neighboring city. Also our homecoming parade, which is usually done in October. And we have an immense, and I mean immense, athletic department, which is always been a huge tradition of Vineland in itself. You will see many alumni coming out to participate in viewing the games. We have a Miss Monogram and Mr. Vineland. We also have our custom Rowdy Rooster, which is our mascot, as you will see there that I have a little picture of. This is probably the 20th century mascot. He was a little different back in the day. Also, we have Dancing with the Staff, which is teachers who, students pick teachers who they want to have dance with, and then all the competitors compete. We have X Factor, just like X Factor on TV, and of course, our long-standing project graduation and senior trips. Knowing our population at Vineland High, we have a staff of about 271 teachers, 8 administrators, and 62 paraprofessionals. Our educational levels vary with bachelor's, master's, and a minimum of about 5% with doctorate degrees. We have a small group under the age of 30. Most people are between 30 to 50, with a handful or two 50 and over. Sex, the males 54 and females about 217. So you could see the females outweigh the males. We have free lunch, approximately 54%, and a 10% reduced lunch. Student race is approximately, this is 46.2% Hispanic, but when I just recently looked at it, it changed to 53%, just from the time I created this to just a recent look at the New Jersey report card. White was 31.8%, black 19%, and then other 2.11%. Parent occupations range from business people to farmers to, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, to factory workers. We have approximately students with disabilities, 20%, and economically disadvantaged, 62%, and ELL learners as well with limited English proficient, about 8%. Know the communication channels. We have numerous channels that we utilize for the community, whether it be the website, email. We have an all-call telephone system that if you are a parent of a child in the district, you will get a call. You will also get a text. It goes off quite a bit. I'm a parent of several students in the district, and my phone is constantly going off and it's constantly ringing with messages, which is a great way to keep in communication, but can be also a little annoying. We have Facebook and Twitter. We have, of course, our hometown newspaper that keeps us up to date on things. We have our own channel 13 TV for the school district. I know a lot of the administrators and teachers use Remind text app. We have a newsletter that goes out to the parents. We have one that goes out to the staff. We have a communications director that takes care of most of the newsletters that are to go out to the district. And of course, letters and flyers that are sent home with the students. Our community groups. We have several community groups. Boys and Girls Club play a big part with our students. A lot of our students have after-school jobs there. A great way to get them into working and, you know, intermingling with other community members. Athletic programs, tons of community-wise. We have football, baseball, softball, tennis, golf, lacrosse, crew, field hockey, track and field, cross country, and the list goes on. These are all sports that we also have at our school, but are also in the community as well. We have lots of youth groups. We have our church groups. We have a lot of alumni groups that support our school. Of course, we have our school board members and families, faculty and staff, and faculty that are parents as well to students in the district. So our leadership basically goes with superintendent, assistant superintendent, our board of education, principals, supervisors, athletic director. We have an IT personnel for technology. We have veteran faculty that have been there for quite a long time. And of course, parents with multiple students in various schools. The students and staff are the most influenced by these. And I would say that overall, our Board of Education has a lot of input in our school district. I think even more so than our superintendent at times. Knowing community leaders and characteristics. Below you'll see a picture of our superintendent. She has been our superintendent for 7 years. She is very involved in the community, very involved in politics. She is a Republican freeholder of Cumberland County Board of Chosen Freeholders, part of Dream Foundation, Tri-County Rotary, Chamber of Commerce, Economic Growth Council, Leadership Cumberland County, Governor's Committee for Parent Involvement, and Big Brothers and Big Sisters. She's received numerous awards. The Cumberland County Women's Hall of Fame she has made. She focuses on collaboration and definitely puts the students first. She is all about the students. She is widely known and her accessibility is limited. You don't see her much in the schools and so forth unless it's a big occasion. However, it is hard to get a meeting and so forth with her, but if you send her an email, you do get a quick response. Our economic conditions in Vineland, our population estimate is about 60,392. Our unemployment, 5.4% compared to the state's 4.4%. The home median value goes for about 164,000. Income is about 51,000. Our tax rate is 2.584. Farming is definitely predominant in East Vineland. Manufacturing is more so in the North and the West Vineland. And you will be able to tell these differences if you ever came to Vineland. You will totally see going into East Vineland, it's all farms. And then going to North and West, it's definitely a lot more buildings, manufacturing, and so forth. Government and business reports and transportation is buses and cars. You will also see other people using the in-town trolleys, and of course just your means of bicycle and walking. Knowing your political structure. Our district is heavily influenced by state funding. We are currently in a $14 million deficit, our school. We are a Title I school. We have had political views come into play with teacher negotiations. We just recently settled our contract after a year of not having a contract. So that's pretty much our political structure. Knowing social tensions. There's not many interracial confrontations. It's more so gang related. We have, over the past few years, we have really had an influx in gang issues. Not really based on race, but based on, I hate to say this, but drugs and gang related stuff. There's a lot of cliques. There are cliques still. There is bullying and cyberbullying, of course, that I don't think there's too many schools that don't have that. I don't think it's on the rise in our school, but I think it happens. And a lot of the causes of this bullying and cyberbullying are rumors, gossip, economic rivalry. They're jealous because maybe one kid has more than the other. Cultural differences. They don't understand each other's culture. Boyfriend-girlfriend issues is the big one. That's where most of our fights arise from. And, social class competition. Some extra sources of information is our school website, our district website, Inspira, which is our health network that is very involved with our school. The Greater Chamber of Commerce could tell you a lot about our city. And then, of course, the Vineland Public Library has a great connections for our city. Who are you? Power structures. Our district is very large, so visibility of the superintendent is scarce at times. Principal of VHS is between buildings, so it's very hard to get time with her. You literally have to schedule a meeting, and that meeting could be weeks out. And if it's priority, it's a difficult situation because we want to be able to talk to her immediately and not have to wait. So that's difficult. Email is a way of communicating with her, but again, we don't always get a quick response. And like I said, she's between two buildings, 3,000 kids, 271 staff members of teachers, and 62 paraprofessionals. It's a big task to overhaul our building. Board of Education is very involved in the development as a school district, but again, visibility is scarce. You don't see them much around. Usually it's only when something's going on, like a big event, then you'll see them coming into our building. Knowing multicultural issues. Well, we have a wide range of multicultural things such as World Language Department. We have a huge World Language Department. We service many languages, French, Italian, Russian, German. We do Spanish. We do ASL, and the list goes on. We have a really engaging World Language Department. Ethnic heritage nights we sponsor. So we have like a Spanish heritage night. We have a Russian dinner. We have a German experience. We do an African American experience, which incorporates several different events, including a reading of African American people. Students get to choose a person of their choice and read a passage from them. All materials go home in English and Spanish. There are translators available for services when parents come into the building. We do require a school dress uniform, so that kind of cuts out any tensions as far as uniforms. And every student has the right to celebrate their holiday or religious belief and be excused from school or any event that doesn't pertain to their religious beliefs. So knowing the power structure, of course, it starts at the state, and then, of course, the state New Jersey Department of Education, our Board of Education, superintendent, assistant superintendent, principals, supervisors, teachers, and our union. All stakeholders are a part of the school's vision and goals. However, the final decisions are made by the Board of Education and superintendent. Of course, if it goes beyond that, then it goes to the State Department. Measuring public opinion. Public opinion, I think, comes into effect a lot at our meetings, at our board meetings. They meet monthly, and this is where most input is given from the community. They tell how people think and feel about the school system. Parents feel academics are good, but the atmosphere is questionable. And as a parent, I would agree with that. I think our academics are phenomenal. We have phenomenal teachers, phenomenal academic programs. Atmosphere at times can be questionable just because of the social tensions at times with fights and so forth. We do a lot to include the public and parents. However, there's still low participations. We really do reach out. I mean, at the elementary level, middle school, they're always having functions for the parents to come in and be a part of the school and their children's education. And you'll see sometimes you get a wide turnout, and in other schools you don't get hardly anybody. As far as public opinion surveys, there's not really any public opinion surveys that go out for the whole district. There may be school-wide climate surveys, but that's basically it. Basically, the methods of getting information are through email, telephone conversation, Board of Education meetings. You will get a lot of information about what's going on in the schools, parent meetings, and conversations at events. So parents find out a lot, learn a lot, coming to conferences, back to school nights, open houses, and stuff like that. And like I said, the Board of Education meetings, you can get a lot of information there. And thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.